You're coming off a national title. Congratulations again for that. What was the message to your team this year to avoid complacency? And is the Final Four now a standard expectation for your South Carolina program?
I mean, I just say to every team that we've put together is it takes a great deal of sacrifice. It takes a great deal of discipline. It takes a great deal of team. Team. I know it's a bunch of individuals and and highly motivated individuals, young ladies that want to win. They want to do well. They want to impact. Um, as long as we keep the sanctity of our team in the forefront as the priority, all the things they want to check off, their goals, their dreams, can come true if you keep things in perspective and prioritize in a way that puts the team first, and everybody gets a chance to celebrate. Everybody gets a chance to be celebrated, and that's what we'll enter into this season, as defending national champions, and hopefully we can have the same type of success.
Do you feel like USC can be the next UConn in terms of maintaining that dominance?
I mean, it's a very, very hard feat. What UConn's been able to do, it's quite incredible. And I know there was a lot of talk about, is it good for the game? Hey, it's great for the game when you're able to be the best, compete, beat your competition. Whether or not we're able to duplicate that, I think for what we're able to do in the space that we're in, I do think people are looking, they're watching, they're seeing, they're celebrating. Everywhere I've been, um, we've gotten just great responses, whether it's on the recruiting trail. I've talked to recruits, I've talked to parents, I've talked to prospects, I talked to just people in the general public, and they felt our championship. So I call it the People's Championship because uh, we probably play and look like your average team, and if we can do it, it gives everybody else a little bit of hope, knowing that they can do it too.
Talking about women's basketball as a whole, we saw an amazing Final Four. Where do you think the conversation needs to go next when it comes to investing in women's college sports?
Oh, that's a great question. I think what needs to happen is what more of what took place in our tournament this year, which was the signage was great, the branding was great, the product on the floor was great. If you keep pouring in monetarily, because you do have to do that, into our sport, we can be one that could be a hundreds of $1 million sport, uh, because we're in high demand. People watch it. People want to be a part of it. People are buying product, and if we continue to pour into it, we'll get the return on the investment that people pour into us. So we're just waiting for that to happen on a consistent basis, and then we'll see what will end up. And I'm sure, just like the NBA, just like uh, college men's basketball, was poured into in a way like no other, and it produced. It's a $1 billion. It's $1 billion league. It's a $1 billion entity, that is college men's basketball, and women's basketball is well on their way.
I'm curious, what were some of those tangible differences you saw in March Madness this year after Sabrina Prince kind of showed the world that, hey, us women weren't getting treated the same as the men were getting treated?
The branding. We were part of the first four, which was we hosted a game. We actually hosted two games. The first four, and all the teams that participated, they were just incredibly grateful to be a part of. They felt it, like it did not feel like we were at home. That's how much the signage was. That's how much our local media did a great job at following all the teams and making them feel like they were playing in the most exciting tournament at the end of the season. So we need more of that, and I do believe when you give student athletes an experience that they can remember forever, I think it pays big dividends.
Women's basketball on the court sometimes seems more top heavy than men's basketball. With it being so top heavy, do you think the NIL could even further that gap between the programs are that have what they have, and then the programs that have nots, I guess, the haves and have nots. Does that make sense?
Well, I mean, I do think parity is very much alive in women's basketball. I do think we're getting a glimpse of uh, women's basketball players as product pushers. You know, they're getting sponsorships, and I do we will see that people take us a lot more serious than they have when they see women pushing these products, and people going in stores and buying and enhancing products. So, you know, whether or not we'll get what we deserve on the basketball court, we're certainly getting it outside the court through NIL deals. I know Aaliyah Boston and Zaya Cook are two women that are making an incredible amount of money that I'm really, really proud of, because they are producing generational wealth for their families, and they're just two of the very many women that are benefiting from NLI.
How far do you think we are from having a women's head coach in the NBA?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't think there's a huge difference in coaching, because it's people. It's you're coaching people. The game, strategy, tactics, schemes, all of that, you know, can be learned. You really can't learn to relate to people. Not as quickly as you need to from a NBA on the NBA level, because they hit the ground running, and they have, you know, super long seasons. So you have to know how to work with people. And I do think when someone realizes, when some franchise realizes uh, how important that is, then when you'll see a women's head coach in the NBA. And I feel like it's going to happen. And then once it happens, it'll become more popular, because I do think women can have some success in the NBA.
You're obviously entrenched at South Carolina, but hypothetically, how capable do you think you would be if you jumped into that role? Like, do you think you could help the Sixers out right now?
Um, you know, the Sixers are my home team. Obviously, I don't. I think I could be successful with whatever I apply myself to. The things that I've done in my life, the discipline that I have in being successful are the same things that I would do if I was put in that situation. I do feel like it's basketball. It's working with people. It's getting to know people. It's bringing out the best in people, and it's also, you know, being a dream merchant for athletes. Athletes want to win. They want to get better. Um, they they want relationships, whether you believe that or not. They want someone to believe in them, and they want to believe in people. And once you have that dynamic to things, you can be truly successful.